Welcome back, continuing home. This is Jammin Hyaku. This is quite an interesting game. I like it, but I never really was very good with horror games. An ancient ticket booth was falling apart and covered in dust and grime. Stacks of paper lined the counter, faded remains of old schedules and reports. Among the papers were newer looking sheets, covered in scribbles and illegible notes. Come to think of it, the man in that house had kept similar scribbles hidden on his bookshelf, and he had notes of the water tower and outside, too. I guessed he could have been coming here, but why? What was he using this old station for? Ooh. Plot development. I think I just walked around this entire train station. Do I just leave now? Anything else to do in here? Let's backtrack a little bit. Maybe just need to keep going. Ooh, that door noise. This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on the map. I had seen. Whoever was poking around in those tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here, the sign pointed out various campsites and walking paths within the woods. It mentioned a river, and maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to see clearly. Ooh, going through the bushes is never a good idea. You're just gonna get lost. What's that in the ground? Trampled into the dirt and grass was a plastic card of some kind. I brushed it off and was surprised to see it was my credit card. I wasn't sure if it was still usable, but it was mine. Did I take back my credit card? Yes. I pocketed the credit card. Hopefully I could find my driver's license too. I'd be more worried about being safe and not, like, dying than my driver's license, as I don't have a car. Oh, I'm gonna get lost in these woods. What's this? There were some personal effects shoved back into the rock. Wait, there was a notebook there too. Did I read it? Yes. Inside the cheap dollar store notebook was page after one page of names and lists. None of it made much sense. The newest page contained several names. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose, Rachel. Rachel? Her name was on the list and had a mark beside it in blue ink. The names Daphne and Olivia had been crossed out in the same blue ink. Cheryl, Heather, and Rose had also been crossed out, but though these marks looked older and more faded away. Uh-oh. Why do I get the feeling that this guy's wife was murdered? Oh, there's a lot of entrances and stuff here. A few embers were still burned within the fire pit. Who was camping here? Was it? One of the two folding camping chairs were knocked over and there was beer spilled everywhere. Where did the campers run off into in such a hurry? Camping tent. There was a cheap two-person dome tent. Through the screen on the front I could see two sleeping bags, backpacks, and a small cooler. Another building? No. Don't go in? Well, a sink. The grimy sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. A musty wooden plank propped up in the stall door. It didn't really seem useful. Did I bother to take it? If it doesn't seem useful, I won't. I didn't see the point in carrying that hunk of wood around. Actually, I should take it. It's the only thing in here. There's got to be something useful in here, right? Why would they make a complete building just to hold one item and not have anything useful in it? So maybe the wooden plank is useful for some plot development or something later on. Oh, am I back here? The sign was the same as the first one I had seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. I had finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I never wanted to return there. I'm free! Through the dense trees, I could finally start to see some light. I must have been at the edge of the forest, though I wasn't sure where the path ahead of me led. I could almost feel the cryptic notebook in my pocket as I tried to think about what it could mean, and where were the campers who had abandoned their site. Would I meet them too? Through the path ahead there was less dense. I still felt guarded and wary. Who knew what was ahead? Walking forward in the dark forest. Where'd I get this lantern anyway? As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago now. Times were better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. I kinda like games like this with just all this story and stuff going on. And it just slowly explains things. Oh no. I found the body of a security guard. Just doing his job, no doubt. His face was covered with blood from some kind of head wound. I wondered, was this flashlight his? I don't know. Am I carrying his flashlight? Dug into the ground was a cracked old watch. First my wallet, and now this. Did I retrieve my watch? Yes, it's mine. My watch was useless, but I put it on my wrist anyway. There's no harm in just taking it. You never know. Dead security guard and my old watch. One of the lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like someone had been looking for something. There was a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, snaking off to other parts of the factory. The metal was starting to wear, and cobwebs had collected on all the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. The door was locked shut, and there was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign was pasted in the front and said, "Danger, closed for repairs." Alright, let's try the other door. Or the staircase. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. Old bulletin board. The board contained yellowed clippings of newspaper cartoons and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was to Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Ooh, power maybe? A power panel. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yes. Did I try it again? There we go. The opened locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out, and the face was unrecognizable. A power panel. It looked like it was shut off. Did I click it? Yes. Oh, okay, it's working. The door was shut tight. There was a rusty-looking card slot on the other side. Oh wait, was it the other side? A old break table. The layer of dust and grime only made seeing this thing more. The door had been hastily boarded up. What was there, like a zombie apocalypse or something? Lone survivor. This was Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked there. Another panel that I hoped could get the power back on. Did I push the switch? This one was working. A utility shelf, crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. Ooh, I feel like it could be another murder weapon now. At least he didn't say he hated hammers like he did guns and knives. The locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? I slipped the key card into my pocket. Ooh, that's probably used for that door back there that was locked. Another panel that I hope could get the power back on. Oh, it's not working. There we go. Power! Let's go try that key card. If I can remember where it is. I think it was down here. The key card I found seemed like it would pass through this wheel. Did I use the key card? Yes. There was some kind of ventilation hatch here. It looked like I could jump to the room below. My leg hurt enough as it was, but I couldn't see another option. Did I jump? No. If I was too chicken to jump down that broken ladder before, why do it now? There had to be another way. Should I jump? I don't want to risk like breaking my leg and like being stuck in that room. Oh, I'm stuck in here. Looks like there is no other way. I have to jump. I guess so. Oh man, my leg hurt like hell. There was a crumpled up letter on the floor. It had been scratched out heavily, and it was hard to make out. But did I try to read the letter? Yes. Most of the letter was violently scratched out with what looked like a ballpoint pen. All I could make out was need to, just don't, drinking, need, Norman. Who was Norman writing to? Need Norman. That poor guard. Was the flashlight I carried his? It looked like he had met his end violently. I was only hoped it was quick. I had to get home to Rachel, but I couldn't stop thinking about Norman. He and Rachel were friends. Could he help? It wasn't like I really had anyone else to turn to. My leg burned with pain. I only hoped I could find my way through the dark path before me and get to Norman's store. Alright, so heading to Norman's. Norman, coming to find you. Another door. Dumpster. The garbage bin was a disgusting mess of rotten food in slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it back? Yes. I cleaned the card off as best I could. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed to have found my credit card, and now this. I tucked the card into my wallet next to my credit card. Pretty odd that I found both of those. Sounded like it was going to start raining again. Let's go inside then. Inside. I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet except for the faint sound of the television. The entrance to the front of the store was locked from the inside. Looked like I could just pop it open. It needed a key. There was a bit of blood on the keyhole. Oh, that's not nice. Is Norman dead? Who killed him? Whoever killed Norman is gonna die. What the hell? One of Rachel's old autumn coats hung on a rack. That was Norman's bedroom, wasn't it? What was this doing here? Oh no, Rachel. Why? There was a well-maintained gun cabinet here in Norman's room. I didn't know much about guns, but it looked like he kept a few hunting rifles. Uh-oh. I'm actually really curious to what's going on here. Is that the TV? That is the TV. The TV still flickered some indecipherable channel. Can I turn it off? Oh no. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my co-worker and one of the few friends I had had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been killed trying to get up. His eyes were still wide with shock. Norman, what was Rachel doing here? Why did you have her coat? Norman, maybe you deserved better. You probably did. Did I close his eyes? Yes, it's the respectful thing to do. I closed his eyelids down, shuddered as I did so. I wasn't sure if wanted to give him peace, or if I just couldn't stand to think any more about what was going on. Norman's dead. Although he was most likely sleeping with the main character's wife, so I'm not gonna mention. He was a horrible person. Dang it, Norman, you're a horrible person. I'm joking. If anyone named Norman is watching this, I'm sorry. I guess this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there were water rings from 2 cups still there in the wood. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? Yes. I found a hairpin amongst the rotting food and trash and pocketed it. A hairpin. Maybe I can use that to open the door, the front door. Walking by Norman's dead body and the TV. Let's go back downstairs and check that door. I used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. I was right. I was totally right. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. The register was mostly empty, and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. Can I get an ice cream? Probably not. There were various oh wait, the store owner's dead. Scratch that ice cream. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. It looked to be in much better shape then. Someone had brought my credit card up that tower. What else would I have be forced to endure before the end, seeing Norman up there, dead? It turned my stomach just to think of it, but I couldn't put it out of my mind. How was he involved in all this? This was getting worse and worse. I was starting to feel incredibly vulnerable. As I stepped out into the rain, I realized how close I was to home. I hoped I would soon find my answers. Home. I want to go home. It was locked. This wasn't the right gate. The gate was locked tight. This wasn't my house. Well, you may know which house is yours, but I don't. I don't live there. This is my house then, I guess. Oh. I guess it's just another alleyway. Oh wait, can I walk through this? The neighborhood's local post box. A letter was sticking out, as if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? There was no return address, but the envelope was addressed to Norman. Carefully, I tore it open and looked at the letter inside. It read, "Stay away. She's mine." That was it. No signature, no other information. Would the main character have wrote that? Saying that Norman needs to stay away from his wife? I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. Ooh, it's a really creepy atmosphere. I held my breath as I approached our backyard. I was terrified to step inside. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked on the light switch by the door. The power was off. Where is everybody? I remembered having breakfast here on this very table. Was that yesterday or sometime before? There was a small pile of mail on the floor, in front of a mail slot. How long have I been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked this up? Most of the contents were bills. There was a credit card bill there. Did I open it? I ripped the bill open and read it. To my surprise, it said something about canceling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? Maybe he was gone longer than he expected. He woke up in a mysterious house. The door to the basement was locked. Where had I put that danged key? The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. I need a key. I had found the last missing piece of my wallet. The old photo of Rachel and I stared back at me, reminding me of better times. It didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyway? Yes. I placed the photo in my wallet, feeling like I had got a part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Why had I thrown it away? Our television. I had purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterwards, but by then it was too late. Dang. This guy's not living a very good life right now, huh? Only friend dead, wife missing, everybody gone, house in like ruins. Our hallway mirror had been smashed into its pieces scattered around the floor. Good thing I've got shoes on. My laptop had been left on, and only a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yes. I pocketed the key. That probably opens the locked door that was in the house. Our sink, which needed to be replaced. One of the taps was always stuck, but I hadn't got around to fixing it yet. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. Did I go this way already? Can't remember. The books there were half mine and half Rachel's. Hey, now that I look more closely, it looked like the man in that house had some of the same books as I did. There was a suitcase on the bed. It was Rachel's. I remembered it from that trip we took out west. Did I open the suitcase? I wasn't sure what to make of the suitcase's contents. Inside were a few days' worth of clothes, some toiletries, and a train ticket? Where was she planning to go? Rachel was leaving. No. Rachel, no. Where's that door that was locked? It was on the main floor, wasn't it? This one. I unlocked the basement door. What's gonna be in the basement, you will not find out until the next episode. Thanks for watching. This has been Jammin Hyaku playing home.